In a word, live subject to a law. Hitherto, subject only to your own natural inclinations, if not to your passions, not knowing even what law there was question. To you I say, it is to be wondered at, that you should protest, should wish to enjoy life, to be free, and to be a law unto yourself. In this lies the beginning of your hatred and persecution of me. But I, your father, love you, and even as I see your blind revolt, my heart is filled with tenderness for you. So the years in which you led this life sped by, and they were perhaps many. Today I can no longer restrain my love for you, and the sight of you at war with your best friend compels me to enlighten you as to who I am. Dearly loved son, I'm Jesus, which name signifies Savior. Why else are my hands transfixed with nails which fasten them to a cross? On it for love of you, I died. My feet are wounded, my heart wide open, driven by the lance after death. Thus do I stand before you, that you may know who I am, and what my law is. But do not fear, my law is one of love, and in knowing me, you will find peace and joy. It is sad to live as an orphan. Come, my sons, come to your father. Sunday, 17th June. Let us return to the souls who persecute me, because they do not know me. I want to tell them who I am, and what they are. I'm your God and your Father, your Creator and your Savior. You are creatures, bought at the price of my love and heart's blood, which I shed to free you from slavery and the tyranny of sin. You have souls great and immortal, destined for eternal happiness, wills capable of all good, hearts made both to give and receive affection. The thirst for contentment and love can never be appeased by earthly and fleeting gains, which will always leave you hungry and unsatisfied. Perpetual conflicts, sadness, anxiety, and affliction will still be your portion. If you are poor and have to earn a living by work, the miseries of life will embitter you. You will be hostile to your employers, and may even wish them ill, that like yourself, they may experience the hard grind of daily toil. Fatigue, disgust, even despair will weigh heavily on your spirits, for the way is rough, and in the end comes death. Oh, how great are these calamities, when viewed from a human standpoint. But I come to show you life under a different aspect. All of you who are deprived of this world's goods, and obliged to labor for your daily bread under a master, reflect that you are not slaves, but created for the freedom of eternity. All you whose cravings for affection is unsatisfied, remember that you were made to love that which is eternal, not that which passes with time. You who love your homes, and labor to support your families, and provide them with comforts and happiness, do not forget that though death will one day sever every tie, this is only for a time. You who serve master, and owe him respect, love, care for his interests, hard work and fidelity, forget not that he is your master only for the short span of a lifetime. How soon this will all pass away, and give place to an eternity, where you will no longer be workers, but reign as kings, forever and ever. Your soul, created by a loving Father who bears you a limitless and eternal affection, will find one day in the bliss of heaven prepared for you a final answer to all your aspirations. There every labor will be rewarded. There, you will find your family for who you work so hard on earth. There you will live eternally, for earth is but a passing shadow, heaven will never pass away. There you will be united to your God and Father. Oh, if you but knew how great is the beatitude that awaits you. Perhaps you will answer me, I have no faith, nor do I believe in a future happiness. Have you no faith? Then how is it that you persecute me? Why do you rebel against my laws, and war against those who love me? And since you desire freedom for yourself, why not grant it to others? You say you do not believe in a future life? Tell me, are you perfectly contented here, and do you never feel a yearning for that which is not possible to achieve here below? If after seeking for enjoyment, you succeed in obtaining it, does it satisfy your cravings? If after pursuing riches, you at last possess them, have you ever enough? If you feel the need of affection, and one day find it, are you not soon tired of it? None of these things are what you long for, and here below you will never obtain all that your poor heart desires. Your craving is peace, not the peace of this world, but that of the children of God, and how do you expect to find it in the midst of rebellion? That is why I have come to show you where true peace and happiness are to be found, and where you can shake the thirst that for so long has consumed you. Do not rebel when I tell you that all these things are to be found in accomplishing my law. Do not fear this word law, for my law is no tyranny, but a law of love, because I'm your God and your Father. Listen while I explain this law to you, and the kind of heart that imposes it on you, a heart that you do not know, and so often wound. You pursue me to give me death, while I seek you out to impart life. Which of us will prevail? And will your souls continue to harden themselves against me who had laid my life for you, and given you all my love? Josefa writes. His wounds were open, and from them issued flames. In one hand he carried the crown of thorns and the nails with the other. He held up his cross and said, Josefa, are you willing to listen to my desires? See my wounds. Oh, that I could draw in all sinners. Yes, into these wounds many sinners must be drawn this night. Take my cross, my crown and the nails. I go in search of sinners and I shall enlighten them when they are on the point of falling into the bottomless pit, that they may find their way home. I cannot any longer constrain my love for them. Love so strong must triumph over their callousness. Oh yes, they must love me. I want to be their king. Let us draw them all into my wounds. I go in search of them, and when I have found them, I will come back and take my cross. Suffer for me, Josefa. But wait, before I go, let me sink the arrow of purifying love into you, for pure you must be, like all those who are my victims. 18th June 1923. He appeared as one begging, Josefa wrote. I cried out, Lord, what has happened? Why art thou like that? I renewed my vows with fervor, and he replied, comfort me, for I must give up a priest's soul, a soul consecrated to me. Oh no, that is not possible, dear Lord. Remember what thou didst say about sinners. Jesus, look though, and see the state to which he has reduced my heart. I'm about to leave him to his own efforts. Josefa, I was so grieved to see his heart covered with wounds, and above all to think that a poor sinner was to be given up, and I implored him to be mindful of his mercy and love. If you can bear the pain, he replied, that souls causes me, I will entrust his souls to you. Josefa worries about whether souls respond to his message. Have no fear, Josefa. You know what happens when a volcano erupts? So great is the force of the flowing lava that it is capable of removing mountains and destroying them. Do me then need to be told that a devastating power has been unloaded? Such will be my words, accompanied by grace, a strength that will conquer even the most obdurate by love. Society becomes perverted when those in authority do not act according to truth and justice. But if the ruling power knows how to govern, the majority will see and follow the light, though no doubt some will still fail to keep straight. I tell you once more that grace will accompany my words and those who make them known. Truth will triumph, and peace will reign over souls in the world, and my kingdom will come. Come, my sons, and hear what your father asks of you as proof of your love. You know that in a well-regulated army discipline must be maintained, just as in a household there must be established customs. So in the great family of Jesus Christ there must be law, albeit a law of love. In the order of nature, sons are not recognized as such, unless they bear their father's name, so my sons bear the name of Christ given them at their birth in baptism. All ye who bear this name are my sons, and as such have a right to your father's estate. I realize that you do not know me or love me, but rather detest and persecute me. On my part, one love you with an infinite tenderness, and I want you to know also this heritage which is yours by right, and know also the means to acquire it. Believe in my love and my mercy. You have sinned against me, I forgive you. You have persecuted me. I love you. You have wounded me both by word and deed, still I wish to do you good and to let you share all my tenderness. Do not imagine that I'm ignorant of your state of soul. I know that you have despised my grace, perhaps even profaned my sacraments, yet you have from me a full pardon. If then you would be happy in this world, and at the same time secure your eternal salvation, do as I tell you. If you are poor, do the work that necessity forces on you with submission, and remember that I, too, lived for 30 years in subjection to the self-same law, for I was needy and poor. Do not consider your master as tyrants. Banish all hatred from your hearts. Never wish them ill, but further their interests, and be faithful to them. If however you possess this world's goods and employ, pay them a just wage, and show them both gentleness and kindness. If you have an immortal soul, so have they, and if you abound in wealth, it is not for your sole comfort and enjoyment, but that you may administer it wisely, and practice charity to your neighbor. Both employer and employed must accept the law of labor with submission, acknowledging a supreme being over all created things, who is both your God and your Father. As God, he demands of you the accomplishment of his divine law. As your Father, he asks you to accept his commandments in a spirit of filial piety. Thus, when you have spent a week in the pursuit of work, business, or sport, he claims but 1/2 hour, that you may fulfill your Sunday duty. Is this excessive? Go on then to your Father's house, where day and night he awaits your coming, and as Sundays and holidays recur, give him the homage of this 1/2 hour, by assisting at the mystery of love and Mass, that is, Holy Mass. Tell him about everything, about your families, your children, your business, your desires. Lay at his feet your sorrows, difficulties, and sufferings. Believe in the interest and love with which he listens to your prayer. You may perhaps say to me, I have not entered a church for so many years that I have forgotten how to hear Mass. Do not be afraid of that account. Come spend this 1/2 hour with me. Your conscience will tell you what to do, and be docile to its voice. Open your soul wide to grace, and it will inspire you. Gradually it will teach you how to act in a given circumstance, how to treat your family, what to do in regard to your business, how to bring up your children, love those who depend on you, and honor those in authority over you. It may make you feel that such and such a concern must be given up, such a friendship relinquished, or such a meeting avoided. Again, it may tell you that you are hating a certain person quite unreasonably, or it may put in your mind to sever your connection with some person you feel drawn to, and whose advice is doing you harm. Only give grace a chance, and gradually its power will grow stronger in you, for just as evil increases insensibly, once it is given into, so will each new grace. Prepare your soul for still a greater one. If today you listen to my voice and let grace act, tomorrow its influence will be stronger, and so steadily increase as time goes on. Light will grow in your soul, peace envelope you, and the reward will be eternal bliss. Man was not created to live forever here below. He was made for eternity. If then he is immortal, he should live, not for the passing things of time, but for that which will never die. Youth, wealth, wisdom, human glory, all that is nothing. It will all end with this life. God only will endure forever. The world is full of hate, races are in perpetual conflict with one another, so are nations, and even individuals, and all this is due to the decay of faith. Only let faith reign once more over the world and peace and charity will return to it. Father in no way impede civilization and progress. The more it is rooted in individuals and peoples, the more wisdom and learning increase, for God is infinite wisdom and knowledge. But, whenever faith is completely lacking, peace, civilization and true progress likewise vanish, for God is not in war, and in their place comes enmities, clash of opinions, class wars, and within man himself, rebellion of passing against duty. All that is noble in humanity is exchanged for revolt, insubordination, and warfare. Let yourself be convinced by faith, and you will be great. Let yourself be ruled by faith, and you will be free. Live by faith, and you will escape eternal death. To Josefa. You know that I expect reparation and love from you all. Love is proved by deeds, so let all your works prove your love. Be messengers of love in things great and small, do all for love. Live by love.